Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in for another pattern tutorial. This is a really simple sweet stitch and it's a single crochet two together stitch. That's the back and that's how it sits at the front. It's quite a rigid stitch. I use 4mm crochet hook, but my yarn, my lightweight yarn, is a little bit, I wouldn't even class this a lightweight. This is number 4, just under a 4. It felt a lot thicker than my normal lightweight yarn. But here we are, and I used a 4mm crochet hook, and as you can see, this is being a bit annoying. This work is curling up, curling like this because of the way that the stitches are. But if I flatten it all out, you can see it's a perfectly straight piece of work. Once you add your border, or once you make this into whatever you want to make into, be a cushion or use this stitch for a handbag. If you want to do a blanket, then maybe use a 5mm crochet hook. Creates this little gorgeous stitch pattern. So let's have a look. I'm holding this down so I can, because it's annoying. But yeah, so it's not both-sided, but it's great for a lot of projects. You will need to know how to do single crochet rows and 2 single crochet rows together. And it's simple as that. You can use any number of chains. So go grab me your materials, whatever yarn and hook you want to try this with, and that will give you a size, you know, and a shorter chain to see what you would like to make, and it will give you also the size. Sorry. Right, let's begin. Smoosh this aside and begin this little tutorial for you. Do your slip knot how you do yours. This is how I do mine. Remember, keep the foundation chain loose, especially when you're working with a single crochet type of pattern, because you don't want it to sort of push inwards. Let's just go with, I don't know, 12 chains, nice and loose. Okay, you want to do a single crochet row. So after you've done your single crochet row, the pattern's going to be a 2-row repeat after that. So never count the one on the hook, skip one, go to the next one, pull up the loop and pull through 2. Next chain, pull up a loop and pull through 2. These are your single crochets. You want to do that all the way to the end of the chain. You can slow the video down at any point from settings and pause and catch up. You can also add subtitles and captions on. Okay, chain 1, flip your work, single crochet row again. We're just building the foundation for the pattern, so we need 2 single crochet rows here. Okay, 2 single crochet rows done. Right, chain 1, we'll begin our pattern now. So this will be classed as row number 1. So we're going to do 2 single crochets together, but we are going to, let me just double check my note. Okay, so we are going to use both of these rows now. So that's 1 single crochet, that's the other single crochet. So we're going straight into the pattern. We're going to put a hook in, draw up a loop, and then we're going to go right underneath it and draw up a loop and pull through all 3. Same again for the next one. Draw up a loop, go straight under and draw up a loop. So we are doing 2 single crochets together, but we are going for the row that we just worked, and also the one from underneath. And you're going to get this little stripe at the back, but this will be the front. That's why I think this is great for bags and cushions, because it's minimal and it has, because we're wrapping the loops. We've got one here, then we've got another one here. Both, one from this side, but 3 loops there. It creates this minimal texture, but a very sturdy fabric with a bit of a design to it. So every stitch, and then underneath it, 3 loops, pull through 3. Next one underneath, pull through 3. Next one, underneath, pull through 3. When you get to your last one, it's the same again. And you don't need to do an additional stitch or anything. Can you see this little pattern that's being created? Row number 2 will be a single crochet row. That's all there is. Chain 1, go into your very first stitch and do your first single crochet. And it's quite easy to see where to place all your single crochets. Both loops. It's a really simple pattern, and hopefully beginners can join in on this one as well. Last single crochet. So that's the back and that's the front. So we will now chain 1 and go back to row 1. You can finish on row 2, okay, if you prefer. It's entirely up to you, whatever look you want to finish for your project. So here we go again, row 1, chain 1, flip your work, go into that first single crochet, and now it becomes even more easier because we are going to these little holes at the bottom. Just hold up the light so you can see the circles in on my table. These holes. So pull up a loop and then go straight underneath there and pull up a loop. Pull through all 3. And the next one, and go straight under. Once you start doing this, it will go really quick. Creating these tiny little bumps with a bit of a twist. It's not both sided, but it's a good texture for washcloths as well, or dishcloths. And for both rows, for when you do this row, the reason why it's so quick to do is you can quite easily see the hole underneath it, you see. So there's no sort of thinking, oh, where do I put my hook? It's one of those patterns you can just do by not looking and just feeling with your thumb. Okay, and the last one here, and go underneath. And row 1 completed. And row 2 will be chain 1 and single crochet every stitch across. Both loops, okay? It's always both loops unless I say it's single. Sometimes I say single crochet and I know some of you have said, oh, is it both or first, one loop or whatever, and I always say it's both unless I say it otherwise. And that's your pattern for this. Really simple. But this is obviously a bit, this was done with a 3.5. Was it done with a 3.5? Actually, no. That one was done with a 4, and this is with a 3.5. but I think this yarn is teeny weeny bit thicker. That's why it feels thicker, but it's not. Shouldn't be, because that's 3.5. And that feels more tighter. So again, it just goes to show, depends on your hooks and your yarn. So experiment with a small sample and then you can decide what hooks you want to use. Okay, thanks for tuning in for this one. I'll hold the corner for now. Give this one a try. Great one for bags and things as well, like I said, and cushion covers. And if you want to make a blanket out of this really simple but lightly textured stitch, I would, with a lightweight yarn, go with at least try 5.5, maybe even 6mm crochet hook, and that will give you some lovely spacing and nice and soft. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and take care. Please do subscribe, like and share, and send this to anyone who you might think might like to make it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.